All right, let's dive into one of the shortest, but wow, one of the most profound chapters in the entire Quran, Surah Al Asr. We're talking 3 short verses that lay out a complete formula for life, for loss, and for salvation. It's incredible. So right off the bat, the surah hits you with a puzzle. It starts with an oath, but it's not by the sun or the moon. God swears by time itself, that one thing that touches every single one of us, but that none of us can ever get back or control. So why start there? What's so important about time? And then it makes this absolutely mind-blowing claim that all of humanity, every single person, is in a state of loss. Not some of us, not most of us. All of us. You, me, everyone. How could that possibly be true? It seems so absolute.
But, and this is the beautiful part, it doesn't just leave us there with this heavy problem. Nope. It immediately gives us the way out. A super clear 4-part formula to escape this condition. And that's really the heart of what we're going to unpack today. What is this life-saving formula?
You know, the weight of this little chapter is just immense. So much so that the great scholar Imam Shafi'i, he once said that if people just took the time to truly think about this one surah, that's it, just this one, it would be enough to guide them through their whole life. I mean, that's how comprehensive we're talking. So before we jump into the solution, we really need to get our heads around the problem. And that journey starts with understanding the world this surah was revealed in. The context is everything. Okay, so picture this. We're in Makkah. The leaders there, they were totally wrapped up in their wealth, their status, their power. For them, that's all that mattered. They'd look at the prophet and his followers, who were mostly poor, and just mock them. And you know what they did when things went wrong? When they had a setback, they had this habit of just blaming it on some outside force. They'd literally curse time or fate. And this is what makes that opening so genius. It's a direct response to the very people who blamed time for all their problems. God starts this powerful declaration by swearing an oath by time. He basically takes the thing they curse and turns it into the #1 witness against their entire way of looking at the world. So, time is now the star witness. But what is it a witness to? Well, the very next verse tells us loud and clear. It's a witness to humanity's great universal loss. The Arabic word used here is khusr. And we need to be clear, this isn't just, a minor loss or a bad day. This is total, catastrophic loss. The best analogy is to think of a businessman whose entire life savings, his entire capital, is on a ship, and he's standing on the shore, just watching that ship sink into the ocean. That feeling of complete ruin, that is khusr. And here is where it gets incredibly personal. The surah tells us that our real capital in this life, it's not our money, it's not our house, it's our time. It's our life itself. And that capital is just like a block of ice sitting out in the sun. It's constantly melting away, second by second, minute by minute, whether we're using it wisely or not. So you see, the surah just completely flips the definition of success on its head. For those Meccan leaders, success was all about more stuff, more power, more pleasure. But the Quranic view, it's totally different. Real success isn't about what you can gain. It's about not losing the capital you already have, your time. It's about escaping that state of khusr through faith, good actions, and a sense of responsibility for each other. Okay, so if we're all in a state of loss by default, if our ice is always melting, how in the world do we get out of it? Well, the surah gives us a very specific 4-point rescue plan. It says everyone is in loss, except for those who meet these 4 conditions. All right, here's the formula. #1, true faith. A deep, solid belief that God is real, there's a day of judgment, and this life is basically a test. #2, righteous deeds. You got to turn that belief into action. Prayer, sure, but also just being honest, helping people. But it doesn't stop there, and this is key. The next 2 are about we, not me. Tawaso means this mutual back-and-forth duty, a duty to advise each other towards what's true and right, and then a duty to encourage each other to have patience when sticking to that truth gets tough. And you need all 4. 3 out of 4, it's not going to cut it. This shift from me to we is absolutely crucial. Think about it this way. You're on a sinking ship. Your faith and your good deeds, that's like putting on your own life jacket. That's a great start, right? Essential even. But is that all you do? Of course not. Tawaso bil haq is the duty to scream to everyone else on the deck, hey, the ship is sinking. You need to put on a life jacket. Your own salvation just isn't complete if you don't care about the salvation of others. Now, this isn't just some abstract theology from centuries ago. This is an intensely practical roadmap that sort of basically hands us a framework that we can use every single day. We can actually turn this 4-point plan into a daily checklist. At the end of every day, as another chunk of our ice has melted away, we can just ask ourselves these 4 things. How was my faith today? Did I do something good for someone else, or did I just live for me? Did I stand up for what's right, or did I just stay quiet because it was easier? And did I help someone else be strong and patient, or was I only focused on my own problems? And that's why it has to be a team effort. You can think of life like a team sport. If one player is having a terrible game, and the rest of the team just ignores them, doesn't give them a pointer, doesn't encourage them, well, the whole team is probably going to lose. Our success, our salvation, it's all tied together.
So we end right back where we started, with time. Surah Al Asr forces us to look in the mirror and face the fact that our most valuable asset, our life, is slipping away every single moment. It's that melting block of ice. And so the final powerful question it leaves us with isn't about how much ice we have left, but what are we doing with the water?